So I have two boys, and I'm talking kind of to the moms of sons here. I don't know if you guys experience this, but as a mother of sons, I have this little thing I call little girl envy, and it usually happens when we're at a restaurant, and I look over at a family that has kids my son's age, but they're girls, and they're sitting there and they're coloring within the lines, and they're like, "May I have some more fruit, mother, please?" And that's usually when my sons have now taken the silverware and are like trying to like kill each other with it. We were at a P.F. Chang's. My son climbed over the tall booth into a stranger's booth, stole their fortune cookie, was like out in the parking lot before I knew what happened. I'm like, oh, this is a fun night. Glad we went out. So at my school, they said, we're going to do a seminar on how boys and girls learn differently. We've kind of figured it out, and you should come. And this guy had written a book on it. He was some professor, and he goes, the reason they learn differently is because the male and the female brain are built completely differently. A woman's brain is like a multi-level highway. She can do many things at once. She can multitask. And a man's brain, in contrast, is like a sad two-way street. Just don't interrupt him. Let him finish one task at a time. Write it down. Show him. Like, I was like, okay. So they're like, if you have a boy, you should sit him in the front of the class. Sunlight should stream in. He should have plenty of water. Every 2 hours, you have to feed him. Just every 2 hours, just throw some food at him, because otherwise, his personality could change on a dime. And embrace weapon play, because even if you give them Barbies, they will end up hitting the shit out of each other with them, okay? They will make a gun out of a chicken nugget. Just embrace it. Well, and then the final thing they said was, and 99% of all men hear better in one ear, and it's usually their right ear. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So they actually retain the information if you sit next to them and talk into that ear versus looking across from them. I don't know if they get distracted by our tits or what, but, every time that I've been like, look at me, it doesn't matter. So a couple days later, my husband's driving us to San Diego, like a nice little trip and a weekend trip. And I look over and he's driving. I'm like, oh, there's that right ear. Sunlight streaming in. He's got a thing of water. He just enjoyed a granola bar. I'm like, this could be like a great time to have like a really meaningful conversation with him. So I said, honey, I was thinking, if I died and all my friends were single, which one of them would you want to marry? And some people kind of groan, and it's like, look, I know which friend of his I'd want to sleep with. We've all thought about it. It's a 3-hour drive. Can we have a juicy conversation or not? I mean, come on. We don't have trust issues. Who gives a shit? Come on. So he says to me, he goes, Heather, if you died, I am never, ever getting married again. I'm just so fucking tired. I was like, well, now how the hell is that a compliment? That is not a compliment, okay? And then I got kind of pissed. I'm like, oh, really? You're tired? I am the one who should be freaking tired, okay? Because my husband snores, and he doesn't just snore, he's actually been diagnosed with sleep apnea. And I know this for a fact because I don't mean to brag, but we do have health insurance. He spent the night at the university, and they came back. They're like, he has sleep apnea, which means he actually stops breathing in between the snores, which is pretty serious. So he comes home, and he gets this apparatus that looks like he's out of the movie of Alien or something. And I'm like, okay, well, good, put it on, let's, And he's like, oh, fuck that shit. I'll just have another bottle of red wine and a cigar. He does this thing where it's he goes around the asshole, separates the balls, and does a dog leg jiggle. This started 2 years ago. I'm like, what, did your asshole just get itchier in the marriage? Because I don't remember you doing this. He's like, I'm like, have you had a cold for a decade? Get a neti pot. What the fuck? Can't handle the clearing of the throat. So this is basically any given night that I'm about to go to sleep. I lay my head on the pillow. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, fuck, it's starting. Fall asleep, Heather. Fall asleep. Fall asleep, you dumb bitch. Fall asleep. You got 3 seconds to fall asleep. Fall asleep. Oh, God. Why did you stay up late to watch The Housewives? You have to fall asleep before him. You have to fall asleep before him. Oh, God. I don't want to go on the couch. I don't know where the sheets are that fit that thing and pulls out. And God damn it. Is it wrong to take NyQuil when you don't even have a cold? Is Dr. Drew going to come to my house and be like, you know what, now you're addicted to NyQuil. You've taken it 17 days in a row. We got you a place that promises. this. Is she mad that I used to make fun of her? I'm sorry. It was just a really good impression and we owned the wig. I'm sorry. I am telling you, in between the snores, I have decided what I'm going to wear to the funeral. I'm going with a simple black wrap dress. I'm not going to go with these shoes. They're a tad garish. My husband did just die. I'm going to do it with like a simple wedge. It'll be better for the grass and the burial. And then I don't care what my mother says. I'm going with the pre-made deli sandwiches. I think it's weird when someone has to make their sandwich from scratch. Like they're in mourning. It's weird. You're stuck with the Russian dressing and the yellow bread. It's in your fridge for a year, reminding you of the death. Like I have frickin' thought of everything.
Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop, whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.